When one looks into the human heart, we can see it is a collection of desires. From the basic necessities to the more complex social desires of wealth, honor, and knowledge. But there appears a point within every human heart that yearns for something different. It desires to know only one thing. What is the meaning of my life? Welcome to The Point.
Jose, where'd you grow up?
I grew up in New York,
Yeah.
in Manhattan.
Yeah.
And I lived in New York for about 10 years. And from there, my family chose to move to Puerto Rico. That's where my family comes from. So do I guess I could say that.
What's sort of a family? How many people? And
I had a huge
sisters?
family. On my mother's side, she had, I would like to say, I think it was 8 sisters and 4 brothers. So I had a huge family, and of course they all had kids. So I had cousins everywhere. It was constantly, "Oh, do you remember this cousin you used to play with?" I was like, no.
It must have been such a busy and crowded place.
Yes. At the beginning, that was something that I truly did miss when I moved into Puerto Rico, because I left my whole entire family. I had this huge family in New York, and all of a sudden I got moved to Puerto Rico, and it was just silent. It was like, where is all of that energy, I guess you can say, as a little kid, where constantly, running, trying to find my cousins to play with, or it didn't exist there. It was very emotional. I used to be with my family,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden I'm in a remote place. That's how I found it to be, completely remote, having to meet new friends, a new language.
When you were a kid, what were the things that you really liked? What did you think about? What did you dream about?
I always loved to travel. There was something about it. I needed to travel. And
What were you looking for when you were traveling?
I just wanted to do it.
What did it feel like?
New. At the beginning, it was new, but then it, depending on how long I made that choice, how long I participated in whatever new I was doing, immediately I would fall into a gap, this deficiency. I don't know how to explain it. It was like all excited, and then all of a sudden, what's going on? I'm back to the same feeling I felt. Like there was something missing. Same way with the family. I always used my family in this journey in life. I always used my family as an example, because there was so much fulfillment there. There was a connection that disappeared, and that really struck me. I joined the military. I said, okay, I really want to do all the traveling I can, but I can't afford it. So, and a good friend told me, well, why don't you join the military? He says, you like to fight too.
Do you like to fight?
Well, back then, yes. I had issues. I had really big issues. I couldn't, I was easily convinced that if somebody would come to me and tell me, this guy, I don't like this guy, because of this and this and that, whatever, I would fall into those same shoes and just agree with him without even taking the opportunity to see for myself if it was true or not. In Puerto Rico, when I grew up in Puerto Rico, it was very hard. It was this huge change of a different culture, a different way of seeing things. The attitude was a huge thing, completely different. I didn't understand it, and it was very harsh at the same time. For me, it was like this huge hole, this gap. And
So you started traveling with the army. Where'd you end up going?
I wound up going to Kuwait.
Aha.
And when I got to Kuwait, I was struck by it. At one point, I was taking a shower, and when I got out of the shower in Tent City, I was just walking back to the tent, and I said, I can't believe I made an oath here. I'm willing to kill anybody for no reason. Because even though I swore, I joined the military to defend the Constitution, I wasn't really doing that. I didn't feel that. I felt, why am I killing somebody? Why have I reached this point in life? Well, what's the point of all of this?
Uh-huh.
And At that precise moment, I felt like there was something. I woke up for a moment. I used to tell my friends that it was some sort of epiphany. I didn't know, I didn't understand what it was, but it was a wake-up call. It was a very huge wake-up call. So at the age of 25, I decided, okay, I love music, so why don't I work with music? And so I moved to Arizona, and next thing you know, I run into this ad, this engineering school, and well, let's do this. You've been wanting to do this since you were young in your teenage years, when you're, in your heavy metal days and long rock and long hair, whatever you want to call it. After doing it for a year and a half, I was like, I'm back to miserable. I'm miserable. I'm completely miserable.
So you never considered, okay, you know what? I'm just a miserable person? But
no, yeah, I got to that same point. It took from the day that I was in Kuwait till the day that I graduated from the school and wasn't in it. I thought I was in heaven that year. 9 years after, I come to realize that that wasn't it either. So I've been constantly looking. Constantly.
Well, in music, it's kind of like a family, isn't it? You're with a bunch of people, they get together, they work out a plan, and they
Oh,
they
absolutely, but at the end of the song,
what's there?
it's gone. So it vanishes. It's not the same thing.
Uh-huh.
It's there's nothing consistent in everything that I've looked for.
What made you think that it could be consistent? I mean, if in the world you look around and things seem to be built like that, no consistency,
But
what made you...
That's why, like I had said, I always went to my past when I was with my family. It was so ever naturally consistent. There was something special about it, and obviously I see a very beautiful meaning behind it as well.
You're searching for whatever that sensation is that a person feels when they feel at home, mother, father,
Yes.
all these kinds of things.
And I truly believe that everybody goes through this the same way. Once I came back from Kuwait to Arizona, I ran into this local broken bookstore and had this feeling of wanting to, read more about spirituality. So I grabbed, I just, you name it, Wicca, Buddhism, anything that you can think of, I would grab and read. And to my amazement, in one of the books, it said the word Kabbalah, and for some reason that word just struck me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, it was just very interesting. I was like, here's a new word, and what is it? What is this? What's going on?
Yeah.
And then, when that took place, I wound up having to go to Korea. So I was living a year in Korea, and the information that they had in there about Kabbalah was not enough. It was, it didn't have what I was looking for, but yet I was very attracted to the word Kabbalah.
Yeah.
In fact, when I got out of the military, they were handing me out some new dog tags, and they asked me, "What's your religion?" I told them, Kabbalah.
Religion?
Yeah, I told me Kabbalah. And I
Yeah.
walked it. I wish I had my dog tags with me so you can see it. It's funny.
Oh, well, Kabbalah is the name of something, but what is it that... what difference does it make what it's called? What happened?
True.
What happened to you in your life? What did you change?
I've realized and I've learned what I'm seeing on my external, most definitely through the studies that I've gone through in Kabbalah, that I am part of it, and that what I see something external is a meaning, something that needs to be shown to me of how I am within.
You have an experience, but the whole experience seems to have a meaning for you. It's not like just something happening for no reason.
No, everything has a meaning today. Even here, right now, sitting here with you today. Even here, being here with you right now is very important. There's nothing obsolete, would that be the correct word to say?
Yeah.
About everything that I've experienced since the point that I've started learning.
When you look back from those tough experiences, what do you think about those things from the perspective that you have now?
They don't seem tough anymore. Initially, it starts that way, and then if you can grasp that for that particular moment, if you can just grasp that point of view for that moment, then all of a sudden it changes. Connect with a friend, and it doesn't matter who it may be. You'll have an opportunity to see it.
Do you have that kind of connection with people now that was missing before?
Oh, it's even greater. I have so many friends that it's just unheard of. I don't know their names all the way, but I look at them, I see them, and we look at each other, we hang out, we have a good time like we've known each other for 10 years or more, or endlessly.
So there's nothing sort of stopping you from being friends. Well, how come you have so many friends?
Why not?
Well, don't people normally have the opportunity? They're surrounded by thousands of people on the street all the time, or people where they work. They don't make friends there. I mean, what's stopping people?
It's completely different. There's something about, especially for students that are studying the wisdom of Kabbalah, they're doing something that the other like coworkers or friends don't do, and this is one of the biggest and greatest things that's very important to understand, is they're willing, the students are willing to do whatever it takes in order to overcome specific states.
States that separate people?
Yes, it's all about separation. I mean, that's how it always started. Like I said, in the past, it was all about, if somebody would come to you and tell you this person is this way, this way, this way, this way, okay, then I believe it's this way. Until you gradually grow to a point where you naturally do it. You completely do it. And, everything from the past was taught with hatred. I would like to say that in a way. It was.
It was taught, or it was felt.
Yeah,